Keep on honking, buddy. I'm reloading. Fire right up, baby. Get it on board. What a sweet truck, man. Good morning, folks. Welcome to another video. Today we're working on the 1978 Ford F100. In the last video where we left off, we were kind of struggling to get things going right. Idiot. I was putting some cheap parts on this truck. Never heard of DTS before, and I think I may have learned my lesson. I did some searching online. I found this new old stock pickup coil, Motorcraft brand. Pretty cool. So hopefully this thing is better quality than the last one that I had. Looks pretty good. If you're trying to get some parts for your project, this is where I found this stuff. They've got a whole bunch of new old stock Ford parts. Lincoln Mercury Old Parts Store. They're out of Clearwater, Florida. Hit them up if you need some stuff. Still waiting on the UPS man to bring me my Motorcraft starter solenoid. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get this pickup coil tossed on here. Hopefully we can get this puppy running good. But before I do that, I wanna verify that this old coil is malfunctioning, or something in the ignition system is malfunctioning. So I've got this little test light that you put on your ignition coil wire. So I'm gonna start this truck up, get it up to operating temperature, and hopefully I can replicate the issue that I've been having. Let it sit here and run for a little while. We'll see if it shuts off. Once it does, which I believe, I'm pretty confident that it's gonna shut off, I'll hook that test light up, start cranking it, and I'll let you guys watch, make sure that we're not getting spark when this thing is at operating temperature. So let's get this thing fired up and see what happens. There, she's running. So we're gonna let this thing run for a little bit. Right now the coolant temp's only at 97, so we got about another 100 degrees to go before we're at full operating temperature. Pop the hood here. In the last video, we replaced the exhaust manifold gaskets, fixing an exhaust leak that we had, and it sounds much better. Actually, I'm gonna roll a dice. I'm gonna go drive this thing for a little bit. Hopefully we don't break down too far away. Truck was sort of coughing and sputtering. I think it's kind of low on fuel. I've only put a few gallons in it, and I've been driving it and running it and everything, so I'm gonna add a couple more gallons. See how much of this I can spill on the ground. It's like quite a bit. Look at that, we only spilled that much. All right, we're all fueled up. I'm gonna fire this thing up and take it for a drive. I'm gonna take a few tools with me and this new pickup coil, just in case it dies on me, and also this, so maybe we can test it on the road. Crossing our fingers, we can just do a lap around the block, come back and work in the driveway, but push comes to shove, we'll have some tools in case we need to mess with it on the road. So let's go for a quick little drive. Fires right up. Here we go. And I'm telling you, just a little bit I've driven this thing, I love this freaking truck, man. It's too cool. Something about driving an old 70s truck like this. An old blue oval Ford just makes you grin, you know? Not quite up to operating temperature yet, so maybe we can get a little bit of road behind us before it dies on us. We got our AC blowing here. The truck does have AC, but that's kind of low on the priority list right now. I'd like to just get it running good. It's definitely running better now that we put a little bit more fuel in it. This thing is the coolest, man. All right, I think that's enough. Let's go home. It's starting to get up to operating temperature there, kind of slowly. Holly says we're about 172. She's purring like a kitten. This truck is too cool, man. I cannot wait to get this thing running good so we can really put some miles on it. Just look at her there. What a unit. We're getting there. All right, we're gonna let this thing sit here and idle for a little bit, and I'll report back when it shuts off. I mean, if it does. Pretty confident it will. We'll get this new pickup coil tossed in there. Alrighty, it's up to operating temperature. Let's see how long it lasts before it shuts off. Let's give her a little bit. This thing sounds so much better without those exhaust leaks. Got a little bit of a sputter to it, so it should shut off any minute now. Later on in this video, we're going to take this smog pump off of here, get rid of all this emissions crap. The fuel tank I put in here is a non-emission fuel tank, so I'm going to get rid of all those extra vacuum lines and all that extra stuff. Maybe clean this old girl up a little bit. In the future, we're going to do valve cover gaskets and probably try to paint those valve covers maybe. Any minute now, this thing should die. It does like it's done in the past. And there it is, she just died. So I'm gonna hook up this little spark tester to this cylinder 1 plug right there. Let's see if this thing has spark while we're trying to crank it over now that it's all warmed up. Let's see what we got here. We'll turn it over. Did y'all see anything? I don't know about you guys, but I didn't see anything. Let's go ahead and get this new Motorcraft pickup coil installed. All right, we got this new pickup coil installed. Let's fire it up and see if we fixed it. Pretty cool, it fired up. I think that we may have fixed it. Before, if it was still, you know, as hot as it was, before I fired it up, it was at like 157 degrees. You know, now we're sitting at 162. So I don't know, I think we may have fixed it. Just a new old stock pickup coil from Motorcraft. Can't beat OEM quality parts, I reckon. Maybe we can go fill this thing up at the gas station. We'll see. I'm gonna let this thing idle here for a little while and get all the way up to normal operating temperature. We'll see if it keeps running. Cross your fingers, y'all. We may have fixed this thing. Let's give it some sauce. Feeling a lot more confident in this one. All right, y'all, we've been running for a little while now and it's all the way up to operating temperature. So I'm a little nervous, but I think we're gonna try to drive this thing. I'm gonna shut it off real quick and see if it'll start back up hot. All right, here we go. Cross your fingers, y'all. Fired right up, baby. All right, let's close this hood and take it to the gas station. Here we go. All right, buddy, we're driving. Temps are looking good. AFRs look pretty decent. We're rocking and rolling. All right, this is the moment of truth. I haven't taken this thing out on a main road yet, just cruised around the neighborhood, so sink or swim, let's do this. Here we go. What year is that? 1978. Awesome. Thanks, man, appreciate it. Turning necks already. All right, let's pull into this here Valero and get us some petrol. All right, we made it. Put some gasoline in the old girl. This is what gas prices are over here in San Antonio. What are they looking like where y'all are at? Let's go with the good stuff for our first fuel up. Thank you so much.
Did you redo it?
I just did. This is my first drive.
Oh.
Thank you. This thing's already getting low, man. It's the first drive. It's kind of crazy. This thing is so cool. What a sweet truck, man. Let's see how thirsty she is. Let's get back on the road. Hopefully she starts up again. Yeah, buddy. Got me a Topo Chico for the road. Alrighty, let's get to cruising down the Yellow Doggy. cannot tell you how happy this makes me right now to be driving this truck. As you can tell, she's getting attention already. I've had 2 people say something to me. We got a green light, baby, let's go. I'm not sure, but I don't think the transmission shifted. I don't have the kick down lever hooked up. And I might have the little selector thing on the transmission clocked the wrong way. We're only going about 35 miles an hour. That's all right, we'll go nice and slow so everybody can take a look. Look at them all back there watching. They're probably not too happy with me right now. It's gonna go on a short drive though. We don't want to push our luck right out of the gate. Dang, this thing is cool. There it goes. I finally got her to shift into overdrive. Yeah, there we go. Now we got some speed. I don't think my flashers work, so I'm having to do the old motorcycle alarm signals. Dude, this thing has got some pickup. Honda's not too happy with me. It's too much fun, man. Get you an old truck in your life. It's good for the soul. All right, we're gonna head on back to the house. I don't want to push our luck too much here. Need to pick up my woman and take her for a ride in this thing. It is her truck after all. This thing's got a leaky wheel cylinder in the back, but the brakes seem to be working pretty good. I've got those on the bench at the house. I need to get those put on. Whoa! It's got balls, that's for sure. That was totally on accident, but it sounded pretty cool. All right, we're back home. We're with Sarah here now. She's about to hop in and drive it for the first time. What do you think of it, babe?
It looks good. Can't wait. Walter would be proud. Well, I'm too far back.
All right, it's good to go. Fire it up.
Never started that easy. Okay, I'm kind of nervous.
Real touchy on the throttle. Told you the throttle's touchy.
Like barely touched.
Oh, I know. You gotta be real feathery on it.
I'm gonna have to get used to that.
Feels good, doesn't it?
It does. I'm surprised the speedometer still works. It's crazy. I haven't driven this thing in like 10 years.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Take it easy on that one. Oh yeah, it runs. This is wild. Thank you.
You're very welcome. It was my pleasure.
The blinkers work?
No, I don't think the blinkers work.
I don't think so either.
I think the flasher's probably bad or something.
I remember when you let me drive this when I was like 12, like barely reached the pedals. You told me to make sure I push hard on the brake and use fucking right. I'd just be scared to drive on the highway.
I took it out on one of the main roads.
How fast did you get?
I only got it up to like 55 or 60. Runs good though, huh?
It sure does. It's just the only car that's, I feel like it's acceptable to always drive when it goes down.
Oh yeah, I like the little butterfly windows there.
Yeah. Should I use turn signals?
Yeah, use the arm thing there. That's what I was doing.
There's no other. Yeah, that old thing. It's cool too.
Right there's where I broke down the first time.
Yeah, I don't know. I knew it was gonna happen.
We made it back home again. I think it's safe to say this pickup coil did the job.
Have an e-brake? Should I put the e-brake on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ta-da! Pretty cool.
Final thoughts?
You did very good.
Thank you.
Proud of you. Walter's proud of you. Thank you.
Pretty cool truck, man.
We'll wash it up again.
Yeah, we need to give it a real good bath.
Mm-hmm.
Fix the brakes, put some tires on it. We still got a lot left to do to this thing, but man, it sure does feel good to have this thing going again. I mean, just look at that thing. Don't get much better than that. So I'm still waiting on the UPS man to deliver this starter solenoid. That other one doesn't seem to be causing any issues now. The starter hasn't stuck again, but I'm still gonna put that new one in. All right, while I'm waiting on that starter solenoid to show up, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this smog pump off and get all that emission stuff out of here. Not needing this. I should just be able to remove this little bracket here. We'll have this thing off of here. Get this hose clamp off here. There's our smog pump. Now we can just get this bracket off of here. Bing, bang, and a boom. Now we can just get this little bracket off of here. That's nice. This thing will be a lot easier to check with the timing light now that that smog bump's completely out of the way. We got the little indicator for the timing mark. All right, smog stuff is successfully removed. All right, our new starter solenoid has shown up. Here it is. Looks pretty good. Nice and shiny and new. So we just got to unhook this old one, get all the connections off of it, unbolted off the fender well there, and get this new one all bolted up, and we'll be good to go. Alright, looks like the red and black one here goes to the starter, and this one looks like it's brown, I guess, goes to the ignition. Alrighty, ignition and starter. There we go. Let's get this hot one hooked up. And there we have it. One new Motorcraft starter solenoid. Put this one in the garbage. All right, now that we got all that stuff done, there's only one thing left to do. All right, we've been talking about it. Now it's time to be about it. Girl does a pretty good burnout, if I say so myself. Alright, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. We got lots of work left to do on this thing. See you next time.